Okay, welcome Ms. ANUJA TRIVEDI.
Morning, sir.
Morning. Would you please introduce yourself briefly to the board?
My name is ANUJA Trivedi. I'm from Lucknow, Pradesh, where I did the majority of my schooling. After that, I did my BTech from IIT Delhi in biochemical engineering and biotechnology. After that, for a couple of months, I worked at a management consulting firm, Bain and Company, which I quit. Later on, in 2021, I cleared the UPSC CSE exam, and I joined the IRS service, Customs and Indirect Taxes.
Okay, excellent. Let's begin with the basics. What does the word Anuja mean?
Sir, Anuja means younger sister, deriving from Anuj, which means younger
Anuj.
brother.
So what is the opposite of Anuja? What does the elder sister or elder brother, what is the Sanskrit word for it?
So elder brother would be Agraj and sister would be Agrija then.
Agraja or Adrija? Both are correct, by the way. Anyway, okay, good. Now in Lucknow, what does the word Lucknow literally mean?
So Lucknow is the anglicized form or the spoken form, which is derived from the original word of. It started off as Lakshmanpuri because it is named after an estate which is believed to be set up by Lord Lakshman, brother of Lord Ram, and then it gradually changed to Lucknow.
Okay, and you have the Saryu Nadi. So how did Prabhu Ram and his brother, his Anuj Lakshman, die?
Sir, I am not aware of the connection between the river and the event that you're talking of.
Oh, but you really should. They both walked into the river and gave up their life. Are you also aware that Lord Ram was in a very strange situation when he had to pass a death sentence on Lakshman?
Sorry, sir, I am not.
It all happened in your city. So, well, long back. Let's not go there. Just to keep you attached to the city. All right. Now there is right behind Gomti Nagar. There was a huge swamp, huge swamp, on which stands a an absolutely beautiful, colossal hotel. Which one? They developed that swamp. They built the hotel.
Behind Gomti Nagar, sir.
Somewhere around that area.
Sir,
anyway, figure it out. The Taj had developed that entire land. Anyway, to begin with, why are you leaving this nice job at 1.08 lakhs per salary plus perks? No tension, no mobs lining up to give you the charter of demands, no politicians ringing you up. ये करना ही है, वरना आपको वहां ट्रांसफर कर देंगे. Why?
Sir, I applied for placements and I joined this job because of certain difficulties at home due to which we needed the financial support. But from the beginning, I was sure of what I wanted to do.
And customs does not quite fit that slot. You want to take the shot again?
So IRS, Customs and Indirect Taxes also provides a lot of opportunities for contributing to nation development, but they are limited to the tax administration, customs and narcotics department. So that is why I am appearing again.
Okay, perfectly fair, which is what all of us would have been asking anyway. So you're aware of what is the latest record in GST collection?
Sir, the GST collections have been crossing the 1.6 lakh crore mark for consistently for a lot of months now. So they've shown quite a big uptick.
So essentially, the GST, would you say, has vindicated itself as the correct step, whatever the inconvenience to the people?
Definitely, sir. Sir, I think as an economy which is coming into its own, the GST was required, and after the initial compliance burden, etc., was simplified, and all of the people were onboarded on it. It has started to show good results.
Okay. Also, tell me, uh, why is it that we say demonetization brought so much of misery to so much of tension to so many people, but there are some decidedly positive aspects to it? Can you, in half a minute, can you just sum up a few advantages which demonetization got?
So the aim of demonetization, the major objective of controlling black money and putting a curb on tax evasion was
May I
fulfilled.
interrupt you? May I interrupt you? It is in the light of almost 99% of the money having come back to RBI. So where is that black money thing?
Sir, the 99% coming back is also a good thing only because it has come back through the formal channels, so that now at least it is accountable for, and now there is a paper trail. So even though a lot of money has come back, we can say that it is easier to trace it now. Otherwise, before that, it was completely in the cash form or
So
in form.
that's a henceforth logic that after 2017-18 it is perfectly all right. But you see, if there is a fellow, some politician or some very corrupt man, he's sitting with 200 crores or if not 2000 crores, whatever, and he's able to pump it back into the system into and reach the RBI, it means उसने तो काले को सफेद कर दिया. So how is the black money got curbed? You see the problem?
Yes, sir.
You and I, with about 30-40,000, 1 lakh rupees in our home, we were able to show कि भाई अपना निकाला था, हर महीने रखते हैं, and we go back and give it back to the bank and we say कि भाई आप you give us in different notes or put it in my bank account, right?
Yes, sir.
But if a guy who's sitting on some 1,000 crores, he's able to get it legalized, then how was the black money wiped out? There is one more angle to it.
Sir, sorry.
Is there any other angle to it?
Sir, the routes that a lot of people also used was to concede that they have XYZ amount of money, and there were amnesty schemes by the government as well, both in indirect and direct taxes. And after imposing a certain penalty, the people were allowed to declare their undeclared assets. So in that way, they have paid the penalty also for that, and so this could probably be a second step in that direction.
Okay, taking a line out of your field of biotech and sociology, there is a very strange theory that you see, we all human beings structure our lives in the following manner. In the 20s or 30s, we'll get married. By 50s, we'll have our children, and by 60s, probably some grandchildren also. And we prepare for our post-retirement and inching closer to death by our 80s and 90s. What would the world look like if suddenly I'm told that I'm going to live till 150? What will the options be? Will we be looking at alternative lives and careers? Obviously, our career will certainly not end at 60, 65. So what do you think the societal change would be? Take some time to think and then answer. No hurry.
Sir, in this question, till 150 years, the body will remain in active state, or is just
Yeah, totally active state because of your field, biochem, which you are quitting. There will be so many advances, and there will be so many wellness and medical advancements that a person will be certainly physically very active till at least 125 or 130, and his actual old age will start from 120 to 150. How do you think the society will change? Not a man. I will probably play tennis for another 50 years, but how will the society change?
Sir, if we look at the society, then if we, for example, first moving towards work and economic life of society, I believe that there would be dynamism in the career choices of a person, because there will be more time and there will be more space for failure as well as success. So I think that people would want to start one thing, experiment a little bit more, and also if they want to specialize, they can do a really advanced specialization as well, because of the increase in the career span. So I think that would be in respect to work and economic life. Coming to family, so in India, at least, marriage and children are very traditionally accepted and popular institutions, I would say. So that would continue to exist. The timeline could perhaps change a little bit, as we are seeing already. Marriages are coming later on in life. So I think they might get pushed a little bit more, but due to I don't know what changes would appear
It's
in
all right. It's all
the
right. It's all right. Think about it. It's a good food for thought. All right. Let me request Ashok ji to come in.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Anuja, in the post-COVID, we made a recovery in our Indian economy, and then many economists describe K-shaped recovery, V-shaped recovery, J-shaped recovery. What do you understand by these kind of recoveries?
So these kind of recoveries primarily depict how the economy fell and then rose again. For example, in a simple V-shaped recovery, which would be probably after the first wave of COVID. So the economy came down during the first wave and then started to recover. That would be a V-shaped recovery. But as we know that there was a second wave as well. So then again it plummeted, and then again it went up again. So that would become a W. In terms of a K-shaped recovery, there are some sectors which performed well during COVID times also, such as edtech, such as fintech, etc. So these show an upward trend, while some did not perform very well. For example, tourism especially, or transport. So that went down. So in K-shaped recovery, some sectors do well and go upwards, while some go downwards. So these are different modes in which the economy could be simply depicted.
So I asked about J-shaped recovery also, not the W-shape. So you described W-shape, which I did not ask. So what is J-shaped recovery?
Sir, in my knowledge, the J-shaped recovery is a recovery in which, although the economy falls at a very high rate, but the recovery is not that speedy. So the slope of recovery is not as much as the downfall was.
No, but you are saying the other way around. The fact of the matter is, it recovers fast and more compared to what it experienced the downfall. Anyway, the recent economic survey says that, I'm going to quote from there and then would expect you to interpret what do you mean by it. Indian economy has recouped what was lost, renewed what was paused, and re-energized what had slowed down. So what do you make out of it?
Sir, in this statement, we are talking about three different domains of the Indian economy. First, in which we were doing very well, but we had lost that momentum during COVID. So we are getting back on track in that respect. In the second one, we had paused certain policies. For example, foreign trade policy is a good example of that. We had paused it in 2020, and now 2023, the new foreign trade policy has come out. So we are again starting what we had paused. And thirdly, the sectors which were not doing very well before also, now we are re-energizing them. So, for example, we are picking up green hydrogen, we are picking up semiconductors. So we are trying to build our capabilities in those sectors also.
You talked about the foreign trade policy. What are the key features which was this foreign trade policy was announced few days earlier? Just to describe in a bullet form, what are the key features?
So we talk about tax remission in exports. We talk about model towns of exports. We talk about infrastructural and logistical support to exports. three major bullet points, sir, that I'm able to recall right now that we are pushing for.
And sometime back, our railway minister made a statement that logistic cost in India is quite high compared to the global one. What is the current rate and where we want to reach?
Sir, currently our logistics cost 14% of our total cost of operations. So 14% is quite high as compared to developed economies or China, in which case it lies between 5 to 6%. So we are trying to get from 14 to 5 to 6.
5 to 6.
So 5 to 6 is the developed economies. Maybe our target is lower than that. I'm comparing
A little higher than that. Okay, about 8%. Okay, that is the target. Anyway, in the multilateral World Trade Organization, WTO, how do many writers and economists feel? I write a lot about that. How do you see the future of WTO in the current context?
In the current context, sir, I think WTO's since multilateralism is in a little bit of a fix right now, WTO might be looking into different regional groupings and how it could facilitate regional groupings into turning into a bigger grouping. For example, RCEP has risen, etc. So maybe utilizing minilateralism in a better space. Secondly, I would also say that WTO should see the global South having a bigger voice and making a stronger case for itself in terms of trade agreements and the different tax and non-tax barriers. So there are two things that I can think of.
Is it called tax barrier or tariff barrier?
Tariff barriers.
Yeah, because in WTO context, in the framework, there are different kind of subsidy. Just try to explain what are the issue in the amber box subsidies. Just one, focus on that.
Sir, in the amber box subsidies refer to the subsidies that are provided by the state to the people, which distort the market pricing and which distort the global markets. So there are limits on how much amber subsidies that could be given. There are some concessions made to the developing countries because they are in their nascent stage.
So what are the de minimis?
So the de minimis is the maximum amount of subsidy that can be given by the government on a particular commodity.
How much is that?
Sir, it is around. So I think it is around 10% for India, but I'm not sure.
Okay, and 10% of what?
So I will have to read further into exactly what the 10% of X exactly.
Okay, my last question from my side. Prime Minister of India said India is going to be developed country by 2047. What are characteristics of developed country?
Sir, a developed country has to be looked at from different perspectives. A should be that the human development indicators are high in terms of health, education, literacy, IMR, NMR, etc. Secondly, the economic fundamentals of the country should be stable and flourishing, so that the per capita income, the GDP, etc., is rising. And thirdly, sir, I also think that in a developed country, the political institutions and other institutions of the nation should be solid and transparent.
Okay, I think we come to that later. Sir, Shri Anil Mehraji, over to you.
Yeah, thank you. Anuja, welcome. You have already joined the Customs and Excise Service. Right now, you are undergoing training at Nasin Faridabad?
No, sir, I have taken a leave.
You have not joined the training?
No, sir.
Okay. See, since you are already joined the service in principle, so what are the different type of GSTs we have?
So there are 5 usual slabs starting from 0, 5, 12, 18 and 28%. And there is also a couple of other slabs, for example, 0.25% that is applied on very niche items such as gemstones.
Okay, but what is the different type of GST? Different type, not the slabs.
Okay, sir. Sir, there is the state GST, there is SGST, the central, the CGST, and the IGST.
Suppose I send the goods to a person sitting in Delhi, send some goods or services to person sitting in Mumbai. Who will get the IGST revenue? Delhi or Bombay?
Sir, I'm not completely sure of.
Okay. What is the principle of GST? Basic principle of GST.
The basic principle of GST is, sir, common tax throughout the country, with a destination-based common indirect tax.
Yes. You have got destination based. Now, if I send some goods or services to Bombay, destination is Bombay. Right? So, state which the service goods have been consumed will get the revenue. Okay. So that is the basic principle. You must remember. Okay, fine. Can you tell me what is the tax to GDP ratio of our country?
So it's around 11%.
And what it should be ideally to become a developed country or become some society?
Sir, if we look at OECD countries, it's greater than 25%. So that should be our moving towards.
What is the total percentage of people who pays income tax? Who pays actually, not the return filer. I want the person pays taxes.
Sir, in my knowledge, it is around 1 to 2% only. Around 5% filed returns, and actual payment is 1 to 2%.
So mean that how to increase the tax base? What if you are given a task to suggest the government to increase our tax base? What will be your suggestion? 1, 2, 3, basic 3 suggestions.
So, first suggestion would be digitalization of our economy, so that there is systemic paper trail of money transactions. Second would be ease of compliance and ease of filing and getting your returns. And thirdly, from time to time, these amnesty and dispute resolution schemes should also be brought in, which could speed up the dispute redressal, so that the money that is logged in is also opened up. Okay.
My colleague was talking about demonetization. One of the purpose of demonetization was to reduce the cash transactions. Okay. But the data suggests since demonetization till late 22, our currency in circulation has gone up by about 83%. How do you explain that? In spite of increasing digitization, this currency in circulation is going up, it's not going down.
Sir, most of the currency circulation in place and the increase also reflects the informal economy, which is based on cash only. And since the COVID pandemic and the Russia-Ukraine crisis also, formalization of our economy has not gone up. So informalization is still there. And since that economy runs on currency, we are still seeing currency circulation.
Okay, I come to different topic. This China and Brazil has entered into some agreement just recently. What was that agreement? Any idea?
Sorry, sir, I must have missed this piece.
Okay. See, there is a grouping called BRICS. What is the BRICS?
So the BRICS is an organization of 5 countries: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, which coordinate to help each other economically and collaborate in other sectors also, science and tech, climate change, etc. So that's the BRICS grouping.
Okay, see how much population the BRIC countries have of the world population.
So considering it has India and China, it would be more than 50%, around 60.
You are not sure, don't guess, it is around 41-42% of the world's population. Okay. So there is a talk of the BRICS currency, like European currency. And what will be the future of BRIC currency, and what is the importance if we actively use the BRIC currency as a medium of trade? So, have you heard of BRIC currency?
Yes, sir, but only I've not read a lot about it.
Okay, I come to another grouping. See, SCO. What is SCO?
Sir, the SCO is the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, and it is considered. It consists of 8 members. It is a security alliance primarily. It consists of India, Russia, China, Pakistan, Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, and Kyrgyzstan.
Okay, fine. That's okay. You know broadly. That is what we want to know. See, earlier our experience with SARC has not been very good. SARC is virtually now dead. Now, in such a situation, in SCO, if India, Pakistan is sitting together, or even China sitting together, what is the future of SCO? Because we virtually withdrawn from SARC because of the Pakistan issues. So, what will be the future of any serious dialogue or any serious things can be done with that type of grouping? What is your take?
So it was unfortunate that the SARC couldn't be functional. However, if we look at the SCO, it has majority of the Eurasia covered under it, and it is a very important grouping for India at the moment, considering the mounting polarization and the mounting crisis and the changing order of the global world as well. So in this context, India and Pakistan could perhaps be able to cooperate better on a platform which has other players, big players such as Russia and China also, so that both of them can gain something out of it. So in terms of that, in terms of our national interests, it is possible that India and Pakistan or India and China can work with considering our own strategic interests first.
Okay. See, you have been to Delhi. You have studied in Delhi. Okay. Tell me what 2 or 3 things you like about Delhi and 2 or 3 things which you don't like about.
Sir, as a student in Delhi, there were 2 or 3 things which were which I really liked during my stay. A would be that Delhi is a center of many educational institutions, very different fields. In near IIT also we had AIMS, we had a NIFT. So there was a lot of exposure to different domains. Secondly, the Delhi public transport infrastructure is one of the best that I have encountered in any city. The metro, the buses, etc. And thirdly, sir, I have also enjoyed the food of Delhi. This is one of the cities which has the best food. And what I don't like about Delhi would be that it's not a very safe city for a woman to venture out alone, especially at night. And secondly, there are some areas of Delhi in which the urban development or the public infrastructure is not up to the mark. So these 2 things.
Suppose you are made DM, suppose an IAS service posted in Delhi. What steps you will take to enhance the women's safety?
So the first step I feel is to make public spaces more accessible and safer for women, which include proper lighting, proper signage, proper footpaths, making it into a walkable city. Secondly, there should be active and passive surveillance, active surveillance through PCR vans and women police persons. And secondly, installation of CCTVs, etc. for passive surveillance so that it acts as a deterrence. And thirdly, as an IAS officer, I would also focus on the functioning of women-centric schemes that are already in place. For example, are the Swadhar Grays working? Are one-stop centers working? Is the helpline working, etc.? Because all of them are in place, but there is a need to renovate and look into them.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Over to chairman. Your formal interview is over. Now first chairman will give you feedback. Thank you.
May I request Anil ji, आप ही कीजिए इस बार feedback.
नहीं, आप शुरू
All I
कीजिए।
have to okay. All I have to say is, Ms. Anuja, you are very poised and composed with a very good command on your words and thought sequencing. कहीं कहीं पे लगता है कि you are going a little too long. You can probably crisp it down by about 5 to 10 seconds. Okay. But I think the broad outline of the way in which you have answered is very impressive, and you stick to it. I have nothing else to add except that two tips which you cannot figure out online. One is that when you talk, you can move your hands a bit to express yourself, because you're vocally and with the fluctuation of your voice, you are expressing very well, right? And if you were to move your hands just as I'm trying to move a little bit, okay, to express yourself in addition through your kinesics, that would be an add-on. Secondly, when you are answering, whenever you enter the board and one person asks you a question, you should keep glancing at the others also, so that the entire board is involved in the chat session, so to say. All right, best of luck. May I request Anil ji and Ashok ji to add?
Mr. Ashok ji.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Anil ji. Anuja, I find you excellent communicator, very pleasant voice, and the way you express. However, there is a scope for improvement on certain facts. You have to be a little more, because WTO is a burning topic. The Indian foreign trade policy is again a burning topic, because a lot of things. On two things, I will quickly tell you. On WTO, when it comes, that issue of that amber box or aggregate measure of support is 10% of the value of production produced during 1986, 87, 88, and they do not allow adjustment for inflation. So that figure is very low. That is the key issue, and that gave birth to our peace clause. So you have to read a little bit on this and read economic survey, because that gives a lot of insight about J-shaped recovery and that kind of thing, because what you describe was actually opposite to what it is considered to be the recovery. So that is second. And on digitization, because I heard at least 2 or 3 times you use the paper trail. So when it is a digitization, there is no question. It's used in the voter list and other things when voting, but in digitization, paper has to give way to digitization. So don't talk of, that's my opinion, about paper, because we are going to digitization, which is counter to paper work and all those things. So keep these things in mind. I think you are going to perform very well. My best wishes to you. Over to Shri Anil.
Anuja, 2-3 things I wanted to say. Since you have already joined revenue service, so there may be question, even if you have not started training, please make you updated on IGST, CGST, SGST things, broad, basic things, okay? And also the income tax part, because that will be coming to you. Some questions may figure on that, okay? And secondly, which newspaper you are reading?
Sir, Hindu Delhi and Indian Express Lucknow.
Yeah, but then you also add one financial paper, because you are in revenue service. Finance questions may come to you, GDP, this thing, other things. So, interview, when is the date of interview?
Sir, 17th of May.
17th of May. Still
Lots of
plenty
time.
of time.
Lots
Plenty of time. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So add this one financial paper, and beyond TV, WION, international news or international news coverage, and also the YouTube video or first post you can view on YouTube, and the Shekhar Gupta, cut the clutter. Okay. There are some topical issues. There are 1,000 so many videos. You select few videos which can be relevant to you. Okay, go through it and watch Sunset TV debates. Sometimes they are on topical and very good debates, and you should update on all these things. So these questions on these things, DAB, your service, and why you want to join IAS, and some things may figure out. And lastly, go there well groomed, hairs neatly tied and all, not sitting like home like this. You should be properly groomed. They want a organized person. Okay. When you go for the interview, you should look like a very organized and systematic person. So that will personality, your first impression will be you are very neat, clean, and very organized type of person. So that you must ensure you are at your best. Okay. Wish you all the best. You are very good candidate. Your answer was very good to the point. Some things you don't know, that is perfectly okay. Right?
Okay, Anuja, may I have you back on the screen?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Yeah.
You must understand what we tend to criticize a lot a candidate who is right already there. And all this is meant to just push you as far high as we can.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So all these tips, please take in that spirit. You're already at a certain level and the bar is high. You've already studied in the best of institutions. Okay. And you will do very well, but we want you to do excellent and outstanding. Okay.
Thank
Very
you.
well done. Just keep at it. Okay. All the very best.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Sir.